Welcome to Reviews on the Run. It is an all-zombie power hour in this episode.
Right here in Kijuju.
Today on Reviews on the Run, Jose and I are taking a look at Resident Evil 5, The House of the Dead Overkill, Dead Rising, Chop Till You Drop. And in Versus, it's Onechanbara Bikini Zombie Slayers against Onechanbara Samurai Bikini Squad. All right, you know the big daddy that we're going to be talking about, not this guy. This guy is the big daddy.
That's right.
This is Don Fubar Sanchez, one of the hosts on Electric Playground. Fantastic show. You should check it out.
I heard it's amazing.
It's really good. All right, we're talking about Resident Evil 5. It's out there for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. First time Resident Evil is on a next-generation console, if you don't count the Wii port of Resident Evil 4, which was amazing, by the way. If you don't have it on your Wii, you're missing out.
Sure.
By the way, every game featured in today's episode, not suitable for the kids.
Nah,
So
this is a rated M show.
every game is very gory and bloody. Starting with this one, Resident Evil 5. What'd you think, my friend?
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
If you haven't heard, Resident Evil 5 takes place in Africa in
Kijuju.
Is Kijuju a real place?
I believe it is.
It sounds like it
I'm
could
not
be.
sure.
It sounds like it could
But
be.
we should have shot there.
Yes,
it would have been great.
It should have shot there, but they've changed the whole setting, so a lot of the game actually takes place in daylight.
Yeah.
And
It's not very survival horror anymore.
No.
This game's all about action, adventure,
Yes.
blasting, uppercutting, and just blowing heads off.
It's running, it's stopping, and doing as much carnage
Run,
as you
stop,
possibly
pop.
can.
Repeat.
There's a lot more zombies to kill, and they give up all kinds of
Yeah.
weaponry.
Are
and
they
armor.
zombies, or are they just...
No, what I've heard is the Japanese culture doesn't like to say zombies, they say
Yeah.
mutants.
Yeah.
And that's why it's always the biohazard outbreak, and
Yeah.
they don't go zombies too much.
Because they're
But
early on in the
they
game, you
look
see
like
some guy
zombies.
shoving this thing down this guy's mouth, and he starts crying blood.
Yeah. But this is one of those games that brought up a lot of, cries of racism and lots of concern about it.
Because we're in Africa and there happens to be black people in
But
Africa.
it's Africa, but we're also in like really poor towns and villages in Africa, and it does look
There's
like
some
you're
Mexican-looking dudes in there. I swear I shot my cousin.
No. They
I swear I shot my cousin, Paco.
Your cousin.
You know those Paco's tacos? You ever been there?
You know Paco Sanchez, right?
Yeah. That's what happens when you go to a location for a game.
Yes.
You shoot the people that are there.
I know, but
We're not going to fly in a bunch of Norwegians to Africa so I can kill them.
We have centuries of
No offense to the
imagery
Norwegians.
of, oppressive imagery of going to Africa.
I don't even think we should be
tear
talking
down
about it on
that
the show.
stuff. I know it's
Honestly,
weird. It's
we
tricky.
should.
It's slippery, but it's
'Cause
it's brought it up though, man. I will say that it's a lot less cringeworthy than I thought it would. I definitely will say that, and it does feel like there is a sense of authenticity to the vibe of Africa there. I mean, you do sense that the developers did a lot of research and tried to create tons of detail. in the
Everything
different
about
places.
this game is just sexy.
Yeah. Now you have a partner. Her name is Sheva.
This should be sexy.
And she is amazing. I mean, she's a
most-
gorgeous character. I mean, if you could see this person in real life, she'd be the biggest star in Hollywood right now.
She would be my
But
roommate.
she is with you the whole time, whether you play this as a single-player game, and she'll be your AI companion. But you also can play this game in co-op, and that's a very cool innovation.
That's
you
the
can play
thing,
it
online co-op?
Yes.
Resident
or split
Evil?
Screen, which is.
What?
But I don't know, man. Like RE4 to me, it was one of the great moments in gaming history.
Yeah, because it was that jump for Resident Evil where it's like, okay,
Yeah.
we'll try something different.
And it surprised
and
you
it
with the
worked, and now they're like,
controls.
well, we'll try something different again, but
Yeah.
kind of keep it the same, and they just keep improving on the better.
I
and they keep making it better.
like the production of this game, but I found it to be very simple to play because we're used to these types of controls. The audio is amazing. I thought all the voice acting was really good. There's lots of cheesy lines and cheesy characters and all the stuff you want and expect in a Resident Evil game, but it doesn't feel
It doesn't feel like a Resident Evil game.
Resident Evil game.
Yeah.
All right.
I couldn't
What are you going to give Resident Evil 5?
8.5 out of 10.
I'm going to give it an 8.5 as well. It definitely is a damn good game, but it's not the stellar shocker that Resident Evil 4 was.
Now, what would you do if you were the only survivor of the zombie apocalypse and all you had was a shack and yourself and an array of weapons to build? You'd ZA. That's what you do. General ZA, or zombie attack as it's called to people in the know, I guess, if you don't want to call it ZA. It's a tower defense game. It's decent. It's got some pretty sweet graphics. You use the tilt screen function to like move your character around. You set up all kinds of different guns. You have like your big plasma rifle and you got machine guns and cannon. And you can set those up, you can upgrade them as you kill zombies, you earn money. It's pretty much standard tower defense iPhone gaming, I guess you'd say. The tilt functionality is, I mean, it takes a while to get used to because you have to rotate it to move your character around to where you want to place it. And you have certain perimeters where you can put your weapons and upgrade them. But, I mean, it's not bad. You see how long you can survive the zombie apocalypse, and hopefully you can make it to the end. Because if not, there's no hope for mankind, and that's just That's just sad. Zombie Attack, giving it an 8 out of 10.
All right, don't go away. The zombie hunting has just begun. When we come back, it's House of the Dead Overkill. You don't want to miss this one.
Somebody's gonna get their motherfucking head shot off.
I've been playing a pretty cool zombie game on my PlayStation 3 that I bought on the PSN. It's called Burn, Zombie, Burn, and that is a very appropriate title for this sucker because you're burning a lot of zombies in this one. You got zombies busting out of the earth and then coming at you in all different directions. You can't use the right thumbstick to target and shoot with one fell swoop, and I really wish you could because targeting is a little bit of an issue in this sucker. And you also have a whole bunch of cool weapons. You get Gatling guns and shotguns, a baseball bat, chainsaw. Gotta have the prerequisite chainsaw in a zombie game, right? And the zombies, they actually do burn. You actually have this torch that you can just run through crowds of zombies with and watch them all running around with their heads on fire, which is very satisfying. The visuals aren't going to blow you away for the PlayStation 3, but everything is fast and fluid. You get a bunch of different environments. There's even giant, huge zombie monster bosses that pound the ground and create kind of like an earthquake attack around everything. You know what? It's $10. It's a lot of fun. There's actually quite a bit of depth in there. There's characters to unlock, levels to unlock, new challenges to play. Great game. I'm going to give Burn Zombie Burn 8.5 out of 10. Welcome back. The Wii, as we all know, that's a very good zombie impression. The Wii, as we all know, is a terrific system for light gun shooters, and we have
crappy light gun shooters.
Yeah, there's some really bad ones out there too. But we have maybe the best one so far.
Probably the best one I've ever played.
I like the Zelda one though. The Zelda one was really fun. But okay, this is House of the Dead Overkill. Rock and roll, mother. Full disclosure here, we actually traveled to London and did a whole behind-the-scenes look at the game. You can watch the videos online, just do a search for House of the Dead Overkill. We work with Sega and the team at Headstrong. I had a blast playing this game.
When I saw it, because I went to Sega and I got to talk to the guys there, and they showed us a little bit, I was like, there's a lot of campy, just horrible, just VO, it's just terribly sworded. Awesome.
Perfect direction for the series.
Amazing. Grindhouse.
Such a clever idea, and obviously they were influenced by Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez. All the characters are over the top, like they'd be ripped right out of the '70s schlock, zombie movie. Agent G.
Washington.
Yeah, now Washington is ridiculous. He's the new character they've introduced.
He's the guy that says every chance he gets.
He is like the Samuel L. Jackson character in any movie
that he's ever combining
amplified it. The Spinal Tap amplification to 11 on that guy. and the swearing actually got to me after a while. It's just like, okay. It's like, okay, I'm exhausted by how many motherfuckers there are in this game, okay? Can you tone it down just a little bit?
No, that's what I want, because you can that's his character, that's what he does.
Yeah, it definitely is fun. It's mindless. But there is some strategy to the game. There's slow down moves. You have the ability
for brains you can shoot.
Yeah, there's brains to shoot. You know, the typical cool shooter design where there's lots of stuff hidden within the environments that you can pick off and they give you bonuses and stuff. But I love the technology behind this game too. Lots of cool lighting effects and
there's a lot of crappy dark effects though.
Yes, but there's also lots of like scratches on the screen and intentionally screwed up edits and things like that in the cutscenes. And I love the idea of this. I think they call it like a danger cam or something like that, where you're moving the gun from side to side and the camera actually pivots so you can see a little bit more.
Not all the way, but you can get a little more.
Yeah, you can see a little bit more.
It's kind of like Chicken Shoot did, but bad. They did that bad.
Don't bring that game up anymore.
There's a gorgasm meter. In this game.
The more combos you can pull off, the bigger your gorgasm. And it's definitely meant to.
I just gorgasmed in my pants.
So inappropriate. It's not a storytelling game. It's not like a big deep adventure.
It's a game you play when your grandma comes over and be like, Grandma, this is just gonna be nice. You can just go around and just shoot people's faces off.
Big time. And it's all co-op as well. It's really fun to play with other people in the game.
You can dual wield.
Yes,
and when you unlock the director cut mode.
Yep. This is a really solid, perfect reintroduction to the House of the Dead franchise. I hope there is a sequel. I don't have word on that yet, but I hope there is. Hats off to the Headstrong guys and to Sega for taking the risk. They gave their beloved made-in-Japan franchise to a Western developer, and they went in a different direction, and I think they pushed some boundaries, but I think they've done a terrific job. I'd say one of the better-looking Wii titles out there, and a very fun game.
How better was it for you?
I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
Are you? I was going to give it a 7.5.
It's getting a solid 8
I want to give
me.
it an 8.
Yeah.
That's what I wrote in my notes, so I'm just going to give it an 8 too.
2 8s.
2 H's.
All right.
2 H's.
Stick around. We've got more zombies after the break.
Motherfucking zombies after the motherfucking break.
It is the, did you get any of that? I think you just beeped the hell out of that guy. We've got Dead Rising, Chop Till You Drop, right after this. Welcome back to our Zombie Power Hour. We've got Dead Rising, Chop Till You Drop. Frank is back in the house. He's coming from the...
He is back. He is badass. He still has his camera, but he's not taking pictures.
Back in the mall. Yeah, he's not taking pictures. What's up with that? This Chop Till You Drop is the Wii version of the Xbox 360 classic, quote-unquote. I dug Dead Rising. I didn't love it. I thought it was really fun.
It was an OG 360 title?
The biggest thing about Dead Rising for the 360 was just the
amount of zombies everywhere.
Yeah, it felt like you were in a carpet of zombies. This, not so much.
Not so much this
there's
game.
a lot. I mean, zombies pop out of thin air in this game.
It's
You notice that?
They're like little gangs of zombies. You got a problem? You got a problem with the sports song? Huh? Let's get him.
You can't pass this guy. Yeah, you can't go shopping
into my
over
food
there.
mart.
You are not getting in my food mart. Yes, there's a lot of moments like that. It also felt like this one was more about just blasting the hell out of. Didn't it feel like there's more ammo in this game?
It did.
It's just like boom.
I had to check because I was shooting everybody with a shotgun. I'm like, do I have infinity ammo?
I am badass. I know, because you keep picking stuff up as you go, and it really felt like you were just blasting zombies' heads off, and your experience bar was going up, and all of us. I mean, it just felt more like
1,000 points. Kill that stupid parrot.
Zombie Resident Evil for Dummies RPG. This one. Well, you know what I mean? Like it's a very arcadey type of experience. Now you got to go and save all kinds of helpless victims
like
around.
You did in the first, in the original version of the game.
And like you mentioned, no taking photos this time.
Which is weird because he still has his camera.
Yeah, so it's all rendered and stuff like that. It's a decent-looking Wii title. I think that you're dealing with kind of more blown-out lighting, and the texture detail isn't there. The polygon detail isn't there.
The videos, I mean, they look crappy compressed, but they're still kind of decent.
Yeah, well, it looks like they used like cutscenes ripped off of the 360 version and then sort of de-res them a little bit.
I guess that's what they do.
But I actually do like the pointing mechanism in the game. I thought it was pretty solid. Sometimes it gets a little bit, when you're trying to whip the camera
bar's
around.
Weird. I don't trust it.
I was fine. I thought it was all right. I thought it was a little bit more fun to shoot the zombies, I thought, in this game than it was
Or hit them with a frying pan that you heat up on the skillet.
But that bugged me. The swinging mechanism didn't seem right to me. I mean, it does
That's
register.
Like your power move, though. You can just press A.
Yeah, I know. I was doing that. But when I want to, every time I swing, I want to swing in the game.
Yeah, and it's like
but
swing,
I can't do
wait,
that. Yeah,
hits.
That drove me nuts.
Yeah.
But it was kind of cool to set the chainsaw going and then do some swinging, and you're just carving the zombies up in little bits. That's pretty cool. No, I mean it's mindless, it's dumb, it's fun, it's not as slick looking as Xbox 360. It's kind of like this guy.
Smarter, more intelligent.
But I think it's a pretty good Wii pickup. If you don't have a 360 and you like the zombie killing, this is going to satisfy. There are plenty of zombies to kill in this game.
Did you just say zombies?
And we all know Capcom is hard at work on Dead Rising 2 right now, which I think is going to be very fun.
Which is going to blow my socks off.
You know, it's a good beginning part of a franchise. You can see the potential for this thing to keep going and to get better and better. What are you going to give Dead Rising Chop Till You Drop?
6.5.
6.5 from me as well. All right, in hardware, we have something a little bit different for you today. This is for all of you that play games on your iPhone and have decided that you want a little bit more kind of like traditional controller vibe going on with this thing. A company called Marware has got you covered.
Marware.
They have a, what do they call it?
The Game Grip?
The Game Grip. It's like a PlayStation 3 oversized. It's bigger than a PlayStation 3.
It's like that old Xbox controller.
Yeah, it is. It's hefty.
Cadillac.
It's big. But they've created kind of like a foam controller that you can slide your iPhone into and give your fingers a little bit more breathing room.
But
it's big.
It's big, man.
Bulky.
It turns your phone into where do you go with that? If you're on the road, I got my phone in one pocket, then you got your Game Grip in your other pocket. You're like,
yeah.
So I'm just happy to see you.
It's not for every game, and it's not something you're going to want to use all the time. But if you're doing some real serious gaming on the device and you're trying to rack up some scores and get some better times on the track.
I'm personally, I'm gonna recommend it with an asterisk.
All right, I'm giving it the R. I'm recommending it. All right, stick around. We're coming right back with verses. We have Onechanbara.
Onechanbara.
How do you say it? Onechanbara?
Onechanbara.
I could never get this right. Onechanbara Bikini Zombie Squad against Onechanbara Bikini Zombie Slayer. There it is.
Yeah.
Right after this.
It's jiggle time.
Bikinis. Welcome back to Reviews on the Run. Did we save the best zombie games for last?
Yes, we didn't.
Yes, we didn't. Yes, this is 2 Onechanbara games. Onechanbara games. Okay, it's very hard to pronounce. And one of them's for the Wii. It's called Bikini Zombie Slayers.
Yes.
And then on the 360, it's Bikini Samurai Squad.
Yes.
You may have noticed an operative word in both of these game titles.
Bikini.
There it is. Bikini.
And Onechanbara.
Yeah, well, yes, but nobody can pronounce that, including
Onechanbara.
me. Basically, you're looking at somebody from like a beach movie,
fine ladies.
killing lots of zombies and getting blood all over them.
Why?
Just cause.
No one knows.
Graphics on the 360, not terrible, not
terrible.
great. I mean, the environments
the
are all
opening
kind of
cutscene,
blocky. Opening cutscene, a lot of attention
Whole lot
to
of
detail.
side boob.
Yeah. A woman running out of the shower.
What do you think of that side boob? You like that side boob? You shouldn't. The 360 one, you start off, you just get the brawn panties. So I was like, well, why wouldn't I have her fight in that?
Yeah.
So that's what she fought.
Well, they're
in.
armored. They're armored.
Okay.
They'll protect
Armor-plated.
everything in the
best part about it is when you're running through the game, you get blood all over your body.
Yeah. Now on the 360, you can see that. On the Wii, it's all kind of murky and muddy and blocky and chunky, and even like the characters don't.
It's blocky and chunky, all right.
It doesn't look anywhere near as good on the Wii. You know, like the zombies that don't animate as well. The different kind of flourishes.
Both games are kind of.
It's both games really reminded me of Earth Defense Force 2017. Did you play that game ever? Yeah, it was kind of a cheeseball arcadey shooter type thing. This is kind of that. So no contest. 360 looks better.
Yeah.
Audio-wise, sounds about the same. There's lots of guitar solos and heavy metal type music and
Onechanbara-esque.
You know, lots of Japanese type pop music going through there.
J-pop?
Lots of squealing girls. And lots of zombies.
The running.
I'm acting it out for you right there.
The running
That's
sounds
for free.
weird.
The running sounds.
It makes like a beat if you run down the street. It's like, clap, clap, clap,
yeah, Tommy would be all over this.
Footstep sounds.
Yeah, he hates the. It's not one. Well, I think it's one footstep sound, but it's been pitched.
No, there's
That's probably what they've done. So audio. Tie. Okay, and gameplay on the Wii, a lot of this.
You know what I have a problem with?
A lot of this.
I started with the Wii one first because I like to play the Wii first.
Yeah.
Before I get into the Zombie Slayer.
Well, it's called foreplay.
It is.
Yeah. All right.
And there's only 2 players though.
Okay.
And there's this meter on the side where your sword gets covered in blood.
Yeah.
And so I thought I was supposed to fill that up, and I got it filled up.
And then it starts going.
And then and you stick it in a guy, but they didn't explain that there was how to wipe your sword off. And so for an hour, I was just like, well, kicking guy.
Yeah, because you can kick too, but that's pretty
useless. And you can throw swords, and then I got covered in blood, and like my sword's stuck, and I'm like, what the hell do I do?
Yeah, no, you got to clean the swords. It's very important. Anyways, yeah, the gameplay is pretty much identical, except that you're dealing with the different control schemes.
I thought it felt a little faster on the Wii.
It feels faster, but I felt like I hate the flail. My arm is starting to hurt after a little while, you know?
But it's like it doesn't feel right. Like if you're stabbing this way, your character just stabs.
I know.
It's not. You can just.
Totally. You don't even have to look at the
edge. How's it going, man?
Yeah,
Good
exactly.
to see you.
I mean, we're playing the game as we're talking here right now. The 360, there is a little bit more style. There's a little bit more
from between your characters.
Yes.
Flip your characters out.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. You can switch out anytime that you want to, and you do have different styles too. Aya has the ability to have 2 swords and go crazy like that, and then later on you get a machine gun-toting girl. I forget what her name is.
I don't even remember.
She doesn't wear as cool of a bikini.
She can change her outfits later.
Yeah, you can.
It's mindless.
It's chicks in bikinis slicing zombies in half, and then there's the occasional boss fight. Okay?
And bouncing.
Got it? Sound like something you want to play? It's exactly what you think of, no more than that. Which one do you like better, gameplay-wise? You like the Wii version? I like the 360 version, not by much.
I just like the bouncingness.
All right. What are you going to give Onechanbara Bikini Zombie Slayers for the Wii?
4.5.
I'm going to give that a 4.5 as well. What are you going to give Onechanbara Bikini Samurai Squad for the Xbox 360?
4.
I'm going to give that a 5. we come out as a tie, you probably should ignore both of them.
Yeah.
And us, actually.
Yeah. Sorry, you
See
had
you
to
next
sit
week.
through this entire episode.
Today on the show, Jose and I took a look at Resident Evil 5, which is the first of the franchise for the high-powered new consoles, and it's taken the carnage out of the shadows and into the daylight. However, unlike the previous games, this one is less about survival horror and more about the bloodshed. And thanks to the new setting, the game also stirred up a lot of controversy and cries of racism. But regardless, this is still an incredible game, and we loved it. The House of the Dead Overkill is the first of the franchise to be developed outside of Japan, and man, what a great change. This is one of the best light gun shooters on the Wii, and it comes complete with Tarantino and Rodriguez-influenced camp and over-the-top action. This is a solid reintroduction to the franchise, and I hope we see more. The only real downside is that the swearing gets to be a bit too f***ing much after a while. Dead Rising Chop Till You Drop is the Wii version of the now classic 360 game. It's more fun to shoot the zombies in this one with the great aiming mechanism, but it feels like a dumbed-down version of the original, and you don't necessarily get to swing away like you want to with the Wii controls. Nonetheless, there is a lot of good zombie-killing fun to be had in this one. Today in Versus, it was a barrage of bloodshed between bodacious bikini babes battling in two Onechanbara games. First up, Onechanbara Bikini Zombie Slayers for the Wii. Although this one feels a bit faster and features some side boob action, it looks murky, lacks any required skill, and is all about the flailing. From Bikini Zombie Slayers to Onechanbara Samurai Bikini Squad on the Xbox 360. Sure, this one looks better compared to the Wii version, but what 360 title doesn't when stacked next to a Wii game? Samurai Bikini Squad does allow you to switch between characters, which is cool, and requires a hell of a lot more finesse, but that's still not saying too much. At least the title conveys exactly what you can expect from a game like this: mindless gameplay and nothing more. The Rogers Video Game of the Week is the mutant slaying action in Resident Evil 5.